Hello, my name is Corliss, and I'm here to show you how the new automatic orbiting function works on the new goprokarma. Go ahead and take a look down. So here's the goprokarma. All I'm going to do is unfold his arms, unfold his legs, place it down, turn it on, grab the controller, open it up, press start. What's really lovely about this system is that the actual controller itself works as the actual manual for the drone. So everything you need to do to actually do this function is actually inside the controller, and it tells you as you go along. What I'm going to be doing is an orbit shot around a flag that's just out in front of us. And we're just letting it basically communicate with the drone. We're also waiting for the GPS signal to come in because you have to have a GPS signal for any of the automatic functions to actually work. So the actual controller is now warming up. It's ready to go.
Ready to start.
It just told me that it's ready to start.
Stop button.
So when I want to start it, all I need to do is hold down the button for 3 seconds. I like to launch the drone from my hand. So I'm going to go down and grab it. I'm going to hit record because I like to record the whole flight from the beginning. I'm now recording. Hold down the button for 3 seconds. I need to hit confirm. And start.
Ready to fly.
2, 3, and now there's the takeoff button. You actually just press this button, it takes off automatically. Alright, so now you can actually see I'm flying over to my little flag. There it is right there. I just want to fly over the top of it. And as I get over the top of the flag, I can then start the process of setting up the automatic orbit function. I'm going to go a little bit higher. Okay, now I'm going to look straight down so I can see exactly when I'm over the top of it. Still a little bit higher. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'm looking straight down. So now I know I'm exactly over the top of what I want to orbit. There we go. There you are. Then I go ahead and I press this little icon in the corner. It asks you what kind of shot you want to do. I want to do an orbiting shot. Now it's telling me where the center point is, which is A. You press A. There you go. Now that's what I'm actually going to be orbiting. Then it wants you to, for B, put the other position, basically the distance that you want to be away from the object, looking at it. So now you use this opportunity to kind of frame your shot. I want to be a little bit lower on it and a little bit closer to it, and I want the shot a little higher up so I can get the horizon in. So I'm going to lower it a little bit more. There we go. A little more horizon. There we go. A little more horizon. There you go. And now this is the B position. This is where I want to start my orbit and the distance away. So I press B. And then now, I just go ahead and press play.
3, 2,
it does a countdown, and then it begins your orbit. So now it's automatically orbiting around the flag to capture the shot, which is actually quite nice. This little slider bar here determines how fast or slow you want the orbit to happen. I usually will let it orbit about 3 times in order to make sure that I get the shot that I want. And as I'm watching, I'm making sure that the framing is how I like the framing as it's doing it. You can actually change the framing on the fly as it's happening, but me personally, I like to watch it. If it looks good, then I just stay with it. If it doesn't look good, then I like to reset the shot. But right now, it looks exactly like what I was wanting. So in this instance, I'm only going to let it orbit 1 time, just to save battery life. Maybe I'll let it orbit twice, because that actually is a beautiful shot. But this is, without a doubt, the easiest orbiting shot I've ever used. I mean, when you do it by hand, it's really hard to keep things smooth. And what's really nice about this function is it keeps it very, very smooth, and it is an actual very, very beautiful shot. The sun is setting, which is quite pretty. We'll let it go around one more time. Let it do one more complete orbit. You can at any time, if you want, either pause the orbit or stop the orbit by pressing these two buttons. That's the pause button, that's the stop button. As it comes around the other side of the flag, I'm going to go ahead and stop the orbit. All right, as it's coming around, I'm going to go ahead and stop the orbit right now. Okay, so now that the orbit is stopped, I'm going to face myself. That's where I am right there, and I'm just going to come right home. And I like to actually catch the drone in the air. It makes it much better for safety as far as crashing the drone is concerned. It's way easier to catch them than it is to actually land them. I mean, this is a pretty easy drone to land, but when it's windy conditions, it's easier to catch. Right now, I don't actually have that much wind, but like I said, I prefer catching. And this is probably the easiest drone I've ever used for actually catching. It's designed to catch, basically launched by one person and catch by one person. So you can go up and see the drone right now. Here he comes. That simple. I mean, that was the whole shot from setup to landing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And thank you very much.